So I have not had a girlfriend for 5 years. I'm still in my 20s, but have not had a girlfriend in literally over 5 years. And not by choice, but just because, mostly because of social anxiety. I'm definitely not good at, making conversations with somebody I might be attracted to. And because of that reason, I have been single for, over 5 years. Last time I had a girlfriend was, throughout kind of like my college days, toward the end of college. It's like, I've gotten, far worse at, dating as I've gotten older. You think it'd be quite the opposite, but that's it's not the case. I've lived in my 20s and I have been single for the majority of my 20s. And it's almost like, when you go that long without, having, a romantic partner or just somebody that you love or in love with, it's almost like you get used to it. So it doesn't bother you as much, like kind of on a daily basis, but it definitely still kind of like eats at you, especially when you think about it, and especially like when you know people that, they're like with somebody, they're like building a life with somebody. And, especially like at any type of event, it seems like everybody has either a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever the case may be. And because you do not, you would feel even more weird trying to go out and meet new people because you're just like kind of alone. Like, my Saturday nights, I don't know you guys, but my Saturday nights, I spend by myself. Sometimes what I'll do actually is I'll like go drive downtown. I live in downtown Kansas City, Missouri. I'll drive downtown and just kind of like drive around just 'cause it kind of feels good to get out and just like, see like kind of like something new, I guess would be, it's like I'm curious about what other people are doing. And everybody seems to be with somebody. And, I have gone the last 5 years on my own. I'm doing this alone. And, I've gotten used to it. It definitely sucks though. It's almost like it'll eat at you at a little bit each day. It's like something that just kind of, it just gets at you. It's like you subconsciously know it. But because you've been single for so long, meeting people just seems like such a challenge. It's like such a feat that has to be accomplished. And because of that reason, you just kind of stay put. And like the longer that time goes on, it's like the more used to it you get. And it's like it causes depression. Like, I don't know if being single is really good for somebody long term. Some people, like some famous quotes, and like there's some actors and stuff that say if as longer that you spend time alone, the more you get used to it, the more you find peace in it. That has not been the case for me. I've not spent enough time alone, but it's been over 5 years, and I definitely I would prefer to be with somebody that I have shared interests with, or that I enjoy being around. That would be nice, but that's not the case. I've been alone. Like right now, I'm sitting in my car. Pretty much every day. I go to work. I try to make it through work without kind of like imploding. I try to get through the day without having to talk to really anybody. That way I don't get like, stumble my words and become like this awkward little human being in front of everybody that is at work and that knows me. So, but as far as outside of work, I come home, I drive home, I get something to eat, and then I go inside. And that's essentially the extent of my life. I go to work and I come home. And then on the weekends, it's like I look at what other people are doing. I'm so interested in knowing what other people are doing. Like I want to know, it's like it's a whole, like a social world. It's like a whole different world. And I'm just so curious about like, what are other people doing right now on this specific time, and like in, around the world. Like, what are other people doing that I don't know about? Like, why am I not invited to stuff? That's how my mind works. And, being single, it's hard to even, know of anything going on, especially when you've got social anxiety, you don't have any friends and stuff. So, people either have, friends, or they've got a partner that has friends, or both. And, you know, us that are single, I don't know if you guys have been single. I'm sure people have been single for longer than 5 years. That definitely has to be the case. But for me, that's a long time. And I'm in my 20s, and you know, it feels like I should be with somebody. Or like, I don't know. It just feels like everybody else is kind of like building a life, and you know, life's just kind of passing me by. And I'm not even on like you know, dating apps or anything. I don't think I could do that. It seems I don't know. I'd like to just meet somebody. Like, how do people, like, what do people do? You know, they just find people like on Tinder, or they like go to places and talk to people. Like, I don't see myself like going to a grocery store and like, you know, hitting up someone in like the cheese aisle and be like, hey, I find you attractive. It just seems it doesn't, I don't know. I guess I don't have an opinion on it. Maybe I'm not educated on it because I don't have experience doing it. So, but I'm always so curious about what other people are doing, and you know, how many other people are out there that's going single and doing this thing alone. You know, I'm kind of doing it alone, and you know, I've gotten used to it, but it definitely eats at you. Like it gives you depression, and it just kind of makes like the situation, especially with social anxiety, just like over time gets worse and worse. And your mind just like almost kind of just thinks that you are meant to just be alone and not be with somebody. That's how my mind works, at least. I figure I just, you know, if I haven't met anyone yet, then maybe either I'm not supposed to meet someone yet, or I'm just supposed to go it alone. And that's how, you know, I feel. I mean, it's been been going a long time. And, you know, when I had a girlfriend, you know, over 5 years ago, I think it's about closer to 6. I didn't really have social anxiety, you know, to the extent I do now. And I think that's what's causing it, because, you know, I'm not good in conversations, and I don't want to put myself at risk of, you know, being in a situation where I'm going to be extremely embarrassed because I'm just simply not good at socializing. That's just how it is. And yeah, so that's my experience. I mean, it's been a long time, and you know, I'd like to know what other people do. I'm always curious, like, what are people doing if they're alone in life? Like, do you live alone? Like, what activities are you doing? How are you wanting to be with somebody else? Or are you single because of your own choice, or you're doing, or like, what actually, why are you actually single, you know? But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about it. I've been single for 5 years, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So, but yeah, that's how it's been for me.